If you've ever wondered why some women make men think about them nonstop while others get ignored or forgotten, you're in the right place. Men don't obsess over women by accident. There are specific things that trigger deep attraction and keep them hooked. In this video, I'm breaking down the 9 things women do that make men completely obsessed. Let's get into it. Number 1. She creates emotional highs and lows. Most women believe that the best way to make a man obsessed is by being the perfect, loving, and always accommodating girlfriend. They assume that if they are consistently sweet, available, and easygoing, he will appreciate them more. But in reality, men don't become hooked on comfort and predictability. They become obsessed with contrast, with emotional highs and lows that keep them engaged. Think about the stories and movies that people get addicted to. They're not smooth and predictable from start to finish. They have tension, conflict, resolution, unexpected twists, and powerful moments. That's what keeps people watching, what keeps them emotionally invested. Relationships work the same way. If every interaction you feel is the same, if you always know exactly what you'll say and do, then there's no emotional pull. He won't feel the deep urge to think about you when you're not around. A woman who understands this doesn't create conflict for the sake of it, but she also doesn't just give a man whatever he wants without requiring anything in return. She allows moments where he has to work for her attention, where he has to wonder what she's thinking. She knows when to step back just enough for him to feel the distance, so that when she returns, he experiences the high of reconnecting with her. That contrast is what makes him feel alive when he's around her. Men don't become obsessed with women who always make things easy. They become obsessed with women who make them feel something powerful, who take them on a journey of emotions instead of giving them a flat, predictable experience. The unpredictability, the tension, the excitement of not always knowing exactly what will happen next keeps his mind occupied with thoughts of her. And when a man can't predict you, he can't stop thinking about you. Number 2. She makes him work for her attention. One of the biggest mistakes women make is believing that the more effort they show, the more a man will appreciate them. They think that by being the one who always initiates conversations, makes plans, and goes out of their way to accommodate him, he will see how much they care and reciprocate. But this usually backfires. Men don't value what they don't have to work for. When something comes too easily, they assume that it's not that special. This is true in every aspect of life. People value what they earn far more than what they are simply given. A man who never has to put in effort, who never has to wonder whether you'll say yes, who never feels the slightest challenge in getting your attention, will not feel a strong emotional investment. A woman who truly captivates a man understands that she doesn't need to chase him. She lets him step up and prove himself. She doesn't rush to fill the silence if he hasn't texted. She doesn't immediately drop everything when he suddenly decides that he's free. She moves at her own pace, staying focused on her own life, allowing him to feel like he has to earn her time and energy. This doesn't mean ignoring a man or playing manipulative games. It means maintaining a sense of self-respect. When a man realizes that a woman's attention is something he has to deserve, that's when he starts to see her differently. That's when he starts to prioritize her. He begins to feel that she's not like the others, that she is not waiting around, hoping that he'll choose her. And the moment that a man realizes that a woman is not waiting for him, that's when he starts thinking about her constantly, because now there's something to figure out, something to chase, something that challenges him just enough to keep him coming back for more. Number 3. She becomes a source of dopamine in his life. Dopamine is the chemical that makes people crave things. It's the reason social media is addictive, why people get hooked on certain activities, and why they keep going back to experiences that make them feel something. When a man associates a woman with dopamine-inducing moments, his brain starts craving her presence. But a woman doesn't become addictive to a man simply by being kind or doing nice things for him. She becomes addictive by making him feel something he doesn't feel with anyone else. When he's around her, his world feels different, more engaging, more exciting, more alive. This doesn't mean always doing extravagant things or constantly trying to entertain him. It's about energy. A woman who has a strong, intriguing presence is one that a man cannot stop thinking about. When she's in the room, she's present. She's not distracted. She's not anxiously trying to impress him. She just has an undeniable pull that makes him feel drawn to her. Men become obsessed with women who leave an impact. It's about how a woman makes him feel in her presence and, even more importantly, in her absence. If every interaction feels like something worth remembering, if every time she leaves him feeling like he just had an experience that was different from the usual, well, he starts craving more. A woman who understands this knows that attraction isn't about constant availability. It's about contrast and presence. She knows that absence creates desire just as much as presence does. And when she steps away, the void she leaves behind makes a man want to pull her back in. And once a man starts associating a woman with an experience he doesn't get anywhere else, she becomes impossible to forget. His mind will wander back to her, replaying moments, wondering when he'll see her again, thinking about what it is that makes her so different. And that is where obsession begins. Number 4. She triggers his hero instinct. There's something deeply wired into a man's psychology that most women don't understand: the hero instinct. At his core, a man doesn't want to be liked or admired. He wants to feel needed and valued in a unique way. And I don't mean in a desperate, clingy way where a woman relies on him for everything. No, the type of need I'm talking about is emotional. A woman who truly captivates a man understands how to activate this instinct, and when she does, he starts seeing her as someone irreplaceable. He wants to be the one who protects her, provides for her emotionally, and makes her life better in ways that no other man can. That's what makes him feel deeply connected and invested. Most women get this wrong by trying to prove how independent and self-sufficient that they are. And yes, confidence and independence are attractive, but if a man feels like he has nothing to add to your life, like you have zero space for him to step up and be useful, he won't feel deeply connected to you. This doesn't mean you should pretend to be helpless or ask for him to do things that you don't need him to do. Instead, it's about allowing him to step into his masculine energy in ways that make him feel valued and respected. When you ask for his opinion on something important, when you express appreciation for something that he does, when you lean into his strengths, instead of always proving that you can handle everything on your own, you're giving him a role to fulfill in your life. A man who feels needed in the right way will start seeing you differently. You're no longer just another woman he's dating. You're the woman who makes him feel like a man in a way that no one else does. And that's something he will crave over and over again. Number 5. She knows when to pull back. One of the biggest mistakes women make when they really like a guy is over-investing too soon. They put all their energy into making him happy, into keeping him interested, into showing him that they care. And while that comes from a genuine place, it is often something that has the opposite effect. It makes a man feel too comfortable too soon, and as a result, he stops chasing. Men are wired to value what feels slightly out of reach. The moment that he feels like he has you completely without any effort on his part, his mind starts to wander. It's not because he doesn't like you, it's because the thrill of pursuit is gone. A woman who knows how to keep a man hooked understands the power of pulling back at the right moments. She knows when to give space, when to let him initiate, and when to make him feel like he could lose her if he doesn't step up. This doesn't mean playing games or being distant for no reason. It means mirroring his energy, instead of overcompensating when he pulls away. If he starts texting less, she doesn't panic and sends 5 messages in a row. She gives him space. If he stops making plans, and she doesn't beg for his time, she continues living her life, making it clear that she's not waiting around for him to decide whether or not he wants her. The beauty of this is that it filters out the wrong men and pulls in the right ones. A man who isn't serious will fade away when you pull back, and that's a good thing. It saves you time. But a man who is truly interested, he'll feel the difference when your energy shifts. and he'll step up. He'll realize that you're not just another woman who will wait around hoping he chooses you. You're the woman he needs to work for if he wants to keep you. And once he feels like there's even the slightest possibility of losing you, he won't stop thinking about you. He'll feel the urgency to secure you, and that's when he starts truly chasing. Number 6. She's a master at emotional connection. Men might be physically attracted to a lot of women, but they obsess over the ones that make them feel emotionally understood. A man will stay with a woman for her looks, but he'll never forget the woman who made him feel safe, seen, and deeply connected. Most men don't get the opportunity to open up emotionally in their daily lives. Society has conditioned them to be logical, strong, and in control, which means they don't always have an outlet for their deeper feelings. When a woman comes along who creates a space where he can be vulnerable without judgment, that's when she becomes unforgettable. Now, this doesn't mean sitting him down and forcing deep conversations. It's about being attuned to his emotions, noticing the little things that most people overlook. When he's frustrated, instead of just brushing it off or offering quick solutions, she acknowledges it. When he starts sharing something personal, she listens without immediately turning the conversation back to herself. She knows when to be soft and understanding, when to give him space, and when to bring warmth into the connection. This kind of emotional connection makes a man feel at home with a woman. It makes him see her as different from the rest, because while a lot of women can attract him, very few know how to truly understand him. And here's the key. When a man feels that kind of deep, soul-level connection, he will never want to lose it. He will crave it. He will think about you when you're not around, replaying the moment that made him feel safe, valued, and completely himself. This is what separates women men casually date from the women they can't stop thinking about. The ones who stay on his mind aren't necessarily the most beautiful, the most successful, or the most fun. They're the ones who make him feel like no one else truly gets him the way she does. And once he feels that, he'll do whatever it takes to keep it. Number 7. She has a presence that stays with him. A woman who makes a man obsessed isn't just someone he enjoys spending time with. She's someone he feels even when she's not there. Her presence lingers in his mind long after she's left the room. He replays moments with her, thinks about her words, and wonders when he'll see her again. She isn't just another interaction in his day. She's an experience that he keeps reliving. But what exactly gives a woman this kind of presence? Well, it's not just about how she looks or what she says. It's about the way she makes him feel when he's around her. She doesn't just exist in his life. She imprints herself on his emotions in a way that's impossible to ignore. One way she does this is through the energy that she brings. She isn't neutral and she isn't forgettable. When she speaks with intention. When she listens in a way that makes him feel like he's the only person in the world. She carries herself with confidence, not arrogance, but with the quiet certainty that she is a woman of value. More importantly, she knows how to create moments that feel unique. The way that she teases him, the way that she holds eye contact just a little longer than expected, the way that she can make a simple conversation feel like something more. There's something about her that stands out, not because she's trying to be different, but because she isn't afraid to be fully herself. Men don't obsess over women who blend in. They obsess over the ones who leave an impression so strong that no matter how much time passes, the thought of her still lingers. And once a man starts feeling her presence, even in her absence, well, that's when he realizes she's someone that he just can't shake off. Number 8. She's unpredictable in the best way. There's a reason men chase what feels just out of reach. It's not because they like being confused or frustrated. It's because the unknown creates excitement and anticipation. When a man can predict exactly how a woman will respond, how she will act, and what she will say, the relationship loses a certain spark. He might still like her, but he won't be thinking about her constantly. A woman who keeps a man obsessed isn't chaotic or inconsistent, but she is unpredictable in ways that excite him. She doesn't let the relationship fall into a repetitive, routine cycle where every conversation feels the same, where every interaction is expected. Instead, she keeps things dynamic. Sometimes she's deeply affectionate, drawing him in with warmth and closeness. Other times she pulls back slightly, giving him the space to miss her and wonder about her. She doesn't follow a predictable pattern, and that's what makes him always curious about what's coming next. This doesn't mean playing games or being difficult on purpose. It means keeping a sense of mystery and excitement in the relationship. She doesn't reveal everything about herself all at once. She lets him discover her over time. She doesn't say yes to every plan. Sometimes she has her own life to tend to, making him realize that he's lucky to be a part of it. A man gets addicted to a woman who keeps him on his toes just enough to make him feel like he always has more to learn about her. When he feels like he can't fully predict her, he stays engaged, keeps thinking about her, and starts to want her even more. Number 9. She makes him feel like a better man. Men might initially be drawn to a woman for her looks, her charm, or just the thrill of the chase. But what makes a man stay hooked on her, what makes him truly obsessed, is how she makes him feel about himself. A woman who makes a man feel like the best version of himself is a woman he will never want to lose. Most people assume that men are mainly focused on external attraction, and yes, that matters in the beginning. But as time goes on, what makes a man emotionally attached isn't just a woman's appearance, it's how she affects his sense of identity. A woman who triggers deep emotional attraction in a man is one who believes in him, challenges him, and supports him in ways that push him to be better. She doesn't nag or criticize constantly, she inspires. She sees his potential even when he doubts himself. She brings out his strengths rather than focusing on his flaws. This doesn't mean putting him on a pedestal or pretending that he's perfect. It means understanding that men, at their core, want to feel like they're capable, respected, and valued. When a woman recognizes and appreciates what he brings to the table, he starts associating being around her with feeling like a winner. Men don't just stay with women who are nice to them. They stay with women who make them feel alive, powerful, and deeply valued. When a man sees that a woman makes his life better, stronger, and more meaningful, he won't just want her, he'll obsess over her. When you understand these 9 things, you'll never have to chase a man again, because he'll be the one chasing you. It's not about games or manipulation, it's about becoming a woman who naturally captures a man's mind and emotions. If this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below letting me know which point resonated with you the most. And if you have any questions, leave them below. I might cover them in a future video. But I'll see you in the next one.